Hi, everybody. Welcome to our regularly scheduled Friday get together. We're so glad you're here. I'm so glad to be here with you, Gail.
I'm I'm glad to be here too, Leslyn. It feels like it's been a few minutes since I've gotten to talk to you.
I know it's been a whole few minutes. I know. So I'm Leslyn Keith. I'm the president of the board and director of research for the Lipedema project. And Gail is our brilliant community manager for Lipedema Simplified and kind of Jill of all trades, doing all kinds of other stuff too.
Um, I'm learning. Some of us, we always say I'm learning as fast as I can, and it's not fast enough. That's all I can say. Sometimes I just feel like I can't learn fast enough. But there's a lot to learn with lipedema. I can remember when I didn't know the difference between lipedema and lymphedema. And everything, all that information used to just go right over the top of my head. And the more I
Yeah.
spend time with you and everybody at Lipedema Simplified,
Mhm.
the I feel so much more knowledgeable. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I enjoy helping others find that
Yeah.
information and
Yeah.
and get their education, because I do believe that we have power in knowledge.
Mhm. And sometimes I think for some people, and I'm thinking you specifically, it helps to talk it out. You could read it, you could watch a video, but when you physically you talk it out and you get feedback from someone, things tend to organize better in your mind. And so that's part of what we're doing here on Fridays. We're just
Yeah.
talking it out.
When I was teaching middle school, one of the things I came up with the 6 levels of understanding, and
Mhm.
it always started at 0, right? I mean, this is like I have nothing. I haven't even heard
Mhm.
the term lipedema before,
Mhm.
right? I don't have a clue. And then as you go, by the time that you get to level 6, the 6th level of understanding, I mean, you're not only are you teaching others about it, but it's like it's become your passion. You eat it, sleep it, drink it,
Yes.
and you have no doubt whatsoever that you're functioning well with whatever you're learning.
Mhm.
And it's kind of cool because it's better than going, I don't get it. It's like, I know this much, right?
Mhm.
And so that's
Yes.
kind of what we do with
Yeah.
all of our events, our
Mhm.
conferences,
Mhm.
everything that we do. It's all about education.
And whatever level you're at, if you're looking at
Right.
those 6 levels, whatever level that you're at, you have something to contribute because you are an expert in your own body. You've been living in it for however many decades. And so you have something to contribute at whatever level of understanding you're at. And we have already a bunch of wonderful people that are already here and contributing. We have Marcia in Texas and Karen in Michigan, and Jerry. Hi, Jerry. Nice to see you. And Tijuana Zerai, I think it is, from in upstate New York, and Beth in Denver, and Denise in Tennessee. Sing It is in Chicago. So welcome. I'm so glad that you're all with us today. We love to have people not only put in who you are and where in the world you are, and just any other comments you'd like to say or share. And of course, Gail always says share some love. So we like that, yes. But we have some wonderful things that we wanted to share with you today, but please put in the chat anything you'd like to discuss too. We hope to get to anything that people post. We love your participation, but we do have a wonderful, what we call a CSIG, a coaching special interest group that is coming up starting on Sunday. So we really want to talk to you about this because it's getting started really quickly. I was lucky enough to just get an email from a woman with lipedema, recently had surgery, wants to know how to eat to help with this healing from her lipedema surgery. And so, well, this is perfect timing. Make sure you sign up for this special CSIC that's happening, Building Lasting Nutrition Habits. First, you need to know what nutrition habits to build, and then how do you make them last? And that's what's happening in this group. starting on Sunday, starting on May 5th. But it's not only Sundays, but it's also Fridays, getting extra coaching on Fridays. But Sundays is an actual really learning stuff that's happening. Gail, you're running this thing. Tell people more about it.
So Carrie Reedy, nutritionist, and I are going to be doing this particular we call it a CSIG, Coaching Special Interest Group. And so we have a nutritionist on staff with us, and then all of the coaching expertise that I have built. And so we are trying as hard as we can in this to give you a very practically used um, a useful method to develop your own plan. So what we'll be doing is on Sundays we will be holding our classes. It's going to be the content subject, and then on Fridays we'll have small get-togethers. So the day one, session one, which is Friday, is going to be crafting your own unique nutritional life.
Sunday.
And did I say Monday again?
You said Friday, but it is so Sunday, May 5th is session one.
Okay. Yeah. Sunday, May 5th is session one. And we're going to be holding a class, and it's called Crafting Your Unique Nutritional Style. So you're going to discover what you need to start working on for yourself. And you'll have access to a nutritionist at that point. And then on Friday, we will have coaching where you can come in, talk to us, get your questions answered. And that both of these are going to be both Sundays and Fridays will be at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. Yeah.
Session 2, we are going to go a little deeper into your nutritional pathway and find where your pitfalls or your what are they called, potholes are, where you get stuck, where you break an axle, if you hit it, speed bumps, those sorts of things. So it's a pathway. We're going to help you discover where some of your pitfalls might be, where you might struggle a little bit.
Right.
And because when people talk about things not being sustainable, it's usually because there's a pitfall that they have a hard time navigating.
Right.
1 or 2, 10, but there's usually one major pitfall that you have a difficulty with. And because you building your nutritional plan should be sustainable because you're building it to fit you.
Right. Yes. Very well stated.
And so regardless of how you learn to eat for yourself, finding the foods that cause you inflammation, finding the foods that love you and that you're able to utilize and all those things, that's sustainable.
Yes.
If you love this food and you know that you love it, that's sustainable. So that's one of the things that refining your pathway is important for.
Yeah.
And then those are the first 2 Sundays.
And so it's actually 4 Sundays, right?
4 Sundays.
Pretty much you'll have the whole course done in May. So session 3.
Yeah, session 3, it's going to be, if you're going to be going low carb or keto, because so many of us need to give up sugars and grains to get to help with our pain levels and our mobility levels and swelling and stuff. So we're going to integrate that, and we're going to ease through some stuff. I am going to actually be teaching a couple of recipes and, going into the kitchen and doing some kitchen hacking, which I know I'm not a cook, I'm a kitchen hack. But maybe taking your favorite recipes and making them with foods that love you rather than just sticking it out or eliminating that particular recipe altogether. We're going to be doing what we call it ketoizing it, but it could be low carb, icing it or possibly getting grains out of there if you have issues with celiacs or whatever. And so we're going to be doing some kitchen hack recipes and stuff like
Yes.
that
Yeah.
on that. And then session 4, the final Sunday, which is Sunday, May 26th, we're going to talk about how you personally can make this your sustainable pattern. Now, we do know that when we have an eating pattern that we do, it's not necessarily forever. It'll change. I mean, I don't eat exactly today like I ate 3 years ago,
Mhm.
but I still am eating in the same style. I just have
It's
found
in the same framework, but I mean,
yeah,
preferences change,
right.
needs change.
Mhm.
And so you can always take that basic framework that you learn from this course, but then suit it to what is happening at your life at this time.
Right. And so so we'll be talking about that, and then we'll follow that Sunday up with a final day of coaching, questions, answers, working things out, and helping you develop your plan. And so this is, you mean, to have Carrie and I are both certified nutrition coaches,
Mhm.
but Carrie is a nutritionist, and
Yeah.
she
And a
has some
medical
training,
nutritionist.
a
She really
medical
understands
nutritionist.
medical conditions.
Yeah.
She really understands lipedema and lymphedema. So you guys are just the perfect people to lead this course. You are a graduate of the NOACS Nutrition Network
Yes.
course, and so you guys really have what it takes to lead this course. Siobhan Huggins and I will be guest speakers at a couple of the sessions. So you can see here the link to the page that you'll be getting this, so you can look at all the information about the different people that will be facilitating the classes, and also how to register. But really, you're getting 8 sessions with us all in May.
Right.
May 5 to May 31, 8 sessions, and you're going to learn a lot.
You know what I'm really excited about is those of us who live in the northern hemisphere are entering summertime pretty soon.
Yes.
Hopefully, it's a little cold still, and
Yeah.
that we're going to be having barbecues and gatherings, and we're going to be doing traveling and those things, and we'll be talking about how to navigate all of that. And then those people who are living on this in the southern hemisphere,
Mhm.
it's coming up to wintertime, and
Mhm.
with winter, so often we change our eating habits again.
Yes.
We get into more soups and stews and
Right.
more heavier comfort foods and things like
Mhm.
that. And so
Mhm.
we really want to be able to make sure that you have something that you can turn to, that you have the skills and the support.
Mhm.
um, One of the things that is wonderful about the C6 is you have the support, not only of the coaches, not only of Leslyn and Siobhan, um, who are experts as well, but of each other. So there's a small coaching group that
Yeah.
is incorporated with this.
Yeah. So we're just seeing here 4-week coaching special interest group, building lasting nutrition habits. There is the link. You can see it on that banner right here with Gail and I, but also below, there's the link for you to be able to go to that page that we were just showing you. And it has also the button to register
Yeah.
and get started.
Yeah.
Get ready for the next season of your life. Get started starting on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
It's going to be um, fulfilling.
yes,
You will find something in there regardless of where you are in your nutrition journey.
yes, yep,
So, and thank you, Catherine, for popping that thing up here.
yes,
I just
yes,
wanted to make sure that they could also see when the dates were, so if they were curious.
yeah,
And the other thing
yes,
that comes with this is you get recordings. You have access to recordings
yes,
for a certain length of time, and you're able to reach out to all of us and be part of a group and a support group
yes.
with this.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and that's really important because even though we're packing all this into 1 month, um, people are not always available for every single one of those meetings. So don't worry, this is still going to be exceptional for you, even if you have to miss a session or two, because the recordings are there and because all the facilitators are accessible to you. Email us. And we're going to be really working a lot to help you individualize this just for you if you're a part of this group. And we really look forward to working with you. So please register today. And we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Yeah. And look for this link right there in the chat.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for everybody who's posting in the chat. Love to help you out and converse with you. Marcia puts in there, my lipedema is hurting today. My pain has pain in the legs. She could tell it's going to rain. And also consider about the impact of nutrition on your pain. We've been talking about that a lot. And there is certain foods that I think are universal to most people. Seems like sugar and grains seem to cause pain for a lot of people. But then there's also some foods individual to you. And that's another thing this course is going to help you figure out. What things can you experiment that might be contributing to that pain? Because I would say that's one of the central things we try to help people with is how to lessen and manage your pain. This is a big issue.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes I think that all of us could handle lipedema if we could just get rid of the pain, right? Because the pain robs us of our mobility.
Yeah.
And so much
and quality of life. Yeah.
Yeah, and quality of life. And so often we don't understand that it's pain because we've lived with it for so long. That, I mean, we are, especially those of us who have obesity, along with lipedema and the swollen ankles and everything, and we just have dealt with it forever. But it's when you start to lose your mobility,
Yes,
that, or you get, or you just can't. So maybe you've lost almost all mobility. It feels like you just can't go anywhere anymore, and it just isn't. It just isn't because of the weight of your legs. It's because of the pain and the inflammation. And so that's one of the things we do with Lipedema at Lipedema Simplified is we help you find avenues of self-care, modalities that you might be able to incorporate in your daily lives to help you get rid of some of the pain, regain your mobility,
get your
and
life back. Live well, even though you have a diagnosis of lipedema or believe that you have lipedema. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still trying to chase that diagnosis, and it's a challenge. I see that Winetta is also posted, prioritize clean protein for accelerated healing. That is, protein's a big part of healing. And so those types of things we're going to be really talking about in the course coming up.
I want to bring up Sing It comments.
Yes.
Sing It went to her first therapy session Tuesday. Was great learning manual techniques, but said that low salt, high fiber is the suggested diet. How would you address this, Leslyn?
So, you can hardly fault that therapist, I'm assuming, that because he or she is simply reiterating the standard recommendations, and standard recommendations, unfortunately, are low salt, high fiber, but there is really no science behind that recommendation. And so I would say that especially if you're trying to reduce your sugar and carbs, to go on a low salt, when you're doing that, you can get dangerously low salt. I mean, that's land in the hospital because you don't have enough salt in your body. We need salt, a balance of salt and potassium just for our muscles to contract. So, and remember, your heart is a muscle. So, being low salt is not good if you're restricting your carbohydrates and sugars, which I think everybody wants to do. And then high fiber, some people it works okay, and some people no. Some people it really plugs them up, and it can really slow your digestive tract and cause you GI problems. So it's very individual, and trying to see what level of fiber works for you. For me, I prefer no fiber, but someone else may prefer a moderate to high fiber.
I don't know how much mine is. Is that moderate?
You're having slightly more than me.
I'm slightly more than you, right?
Yeah.
So what I find often, and some people really they feel good on fiber,
Yeah.
with salad or with roasted quite a few roasted veggies and things like that. And I personally, because I've died all my life, I don't want the lettuce. I'll take the veg on top, but I don't want the lettuce because it's like it puts my brain in the wrong space. And so I just go, yeah, don't give me salad. But what I find is that when we go through these courses, when we go through the C6, people start realizing, oh, I can have salad. Just because Gail's mostly carnivore doesn't mean she says everybody should be, right?
Right. Right.
Um, so and even my husband, he'll say, "Can I just have some veggies sometime?" And I'm thinking, "Yeah, just
I forgot.
I
I
forgot
didn't
about
want myself. I forgot. So yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but also with the salt, when you go onto a Whole Foods, and we use the word whole food as in one ingredient type foods, and you're building your own meals. Let's say you have your protein and it's a whole item, and you have your vegetable, and those are whole items, right? It's not a processed diet. You will find that your sodium intake will already drop. And then you will also find that as you get rid of grains and sugars, you'll flush some of your fluids out, and that takes the electrolytes, the salts, and the potassium and everything with it.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that we've discovered as we change our foods. We have to be careful with.
Yeah, and it's one of the complaints that people have had is that, oh, I guess I suffered from keto flu. And keto flu, in many cases, so-called keto flu, is just because what you just said, Gail, is that you flushed out all of your electrolytes. So it makes you feel exhausted, headachy, and so it really doesn't feel good. And because your body is saying, this is emergency, I need electrolytes.
Yeah.
And so that is something that it's important to know. If you're going to drastically change the way you eat, you got to know how to make other adjustments too, to make sure you don't suffer that kind of feeling really, really bad.
Yeah, and seeing it does continue with this conversation. Yes, I'm
Yes.
keto. It's funny how she says dangerously close to carnivore. Oh, and she said, "I just said okay," and dismissed it. Several surgeries on the colon, and no thanks to that
No
fiber.
thanks on the fiber. Yep, yep.
Yeah, and
Definitely. My one and only colonoscopy, and this may be too much information, but my one and only colonoscopy from after being on a carnivore diet was I was completely clean, nothing to be seen there. So I do think that it's better for your colon not to have any fiber, but it is a very individual thing. See what works for you, and that's part of what we're going to be figuring out in this CSIG coming up. Thank you
yeah,
guys for posting this information. Marcia wants to know, do teas mess with your lymphedema? That's a really interesting question, and something that I'm curious about, Marcia. And I'm wondering about specifically the caffeinated teas. I don't know what you're specifically looking at, Marcia, but I'm wondering about the impact of caffeine on lymphatics, and I'm trying to find more information on that. My use of plants is pretty much limited to teas and garnishes, and then using them medicinally. I haven't yet tried to use them as a poison, but more medicinally and a garnish and in tea. So very limited use of them. But a lot of the really pleasant teas may have caffeine. And is that good for your lipedema? That's an excellent question. And if anybody's got something to say on that, what do you think, Gail?
What? Oh, you don't want to know what
About
I think about.
caffeine?
As far as caffeine goes, I can tell you I've stopped drinking coffee. Now I know that just crushes people's thoughts.
Yeah.
But I did this for myself. I didn't
Yeah.
do it because of lipedema. I didn't do it because of swelling. I I just decided for my own personal thing, I was going to drink hot electrolytes instead of coffee,
Mhm.
and I actually find that I enjoy them. And so I've just moved away from coffee, and and I'm not saddened by it at all. And I'm not
Mhm.
gonna say I'm totally coffee free, but I have coffee maybe once or twice a month anymore,
Yeah.
so
So
it's
it's not like a daily thing anymore. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And so and with caffeine, what I found, and even though I could go to sleep like that, I didn't get as good a sleep. Even though I could fall asleep easily, my sleep wasn't as deep. So does that have an effect on my lipedema? Probably. But it
Mhm.
has an effect on my overall health.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm tracking my sleep. I've got my Aura ring, and I'm
Mhm.
tracking my
Mhm.
sleep, and
Mhm.
I'm getting a lot of good deep sleep.
Yeah. Very, very good. Yeah. I think it's got to have an impact.
Like like, like, Christine
Probably
says.
coffee, that leaves only sadness.
I
Christine,
know.
yes. And I feel the same way about my black teas. It's a hard thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
like I'm looking into the caffeine question, and it may give me an answer I don't like. I do have Sing It said, talking about a couple of the companies that do electrolyte replacement products. And she's wondering, or he or she is wondering, would it be too much salt in one day? And actually, neither one of these provide too much salt, but it also depends on how you're eating. And Gail, you can explain this really well with your coursework about, different ways of eating and whether you retain or let go of your electrolytes.
Right. So as I've said before, when you lower your carbs, you lower your inflammation response from nutrients. The fluid flushes, and out goes the electrolytes. So one of the things that I've discovered is if my electrolyte drink tastes too salty,
Mhm.
it probably is too salty and you're getting plenty.
Mhm.
If the electrolyte drink tastes sweet and you can't taste the salt, you're good. In
You
fact,
need you need what's in there.
right.
Yes.
Your body is going to want that salt. And
Yes.
so sometimes I'll take a salt crystal. I get Redmond's real salt crystals
Mhm.
that we have also in here at the house that's smoked, which is a cool salt crystal. And I just stick one of the crystals under my tongue. And I do that if I start to crave something or if I get a headache. I get that little tingly that comes through my
Yes.
forehead.
Yes.
My jaw shakes a little. I'm like, "Okay, I need to go get a little bit of salt."
Yeah.
And
And
it's
if you
not
if
like
you were to put it onto your under your tongue and you're going, "Ooh, that tastes too salty," it means you don't need
right.
salt.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
body is very
yeah,
good at telling you what it needs. Yeah.
exactly. If it's too salty for me now, I don't use white table salt because that just is
Yeah. Doesn't taste as good.
it's
Yeah.
very, and I'm antagonistic toward white table salt. I want
I, it
the
has a
pretty
different
little salty.
taste. It has a different taste.
It
Yeah.
does. It doesn't taste like salt anymore to me. But I know if I put a little salt in my tongue and it jars me a little bit, I just rinse my mouth out and spit it out because it means I have plenty of salt,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of the things that and we'll talk about that in the CSIG.
Yeah. So everybody, just go down below, find out more, register, join us. We really would love to, we have so many wonderful people that join us here at the Facebook Lives on Fridays. We'd love to get together with you also in this special interest group on nutrition. Please join us and be there with us. We
Now,
have had a wonderful time hanging out with everybody today. Is there one more comment you wanted
I
to do before we closed out, Gail?
I do. I want everybody to realize that we
Yes.
are less than 30 days away from Lipedema Awareness Month.
Yes.
And we are going to have heart to heart, soul to soul, person to person, in-person meetings.
Face to face.
Heart to heart, face to face,
Mhm.
hands being held, if you want to. But last year we called them Tribers at the Table. We started out with 4, ended up with 18,
Uh-huh.
where people all over the world decided they were going to secure a spot, and they wanted a date, a time, and a location. They secured that. They put it on their calendar, whatever they wanted in June. They picked their own, and then we made sure that people could register and go meet them in their city, in their small town,
Mhm.
um, on the mountainside, wherever it was.
Mhm.
And we had them in New Zealand, in Perth, Australia, the UK, Canada, all over the United States. We had gatherings. I had 6 in mine, and I think
Mhm.
Siobhan had 17 in hers. I
Yes.
mean, Catherine spent 5 hours talking to people in
Yes.
hers. I mean,
Yeah.
all over the United States.
And so,
Just
and this could be someone that you already know virtually,
right.
or this could be someone who just happened to see something happening in their community and they think, wow, this looks like me. This might be what's happening with me. And they show up and this is their first time being around other people that have lipedema. It is such a powerful thing, especially when you finally meet that person face to face that you've been communicating with virtually. It's a different way to know that person. And so it is wonderful to get together with people, old friends and new friends, to get together face to face.
So this is how you do it. Christine's like, so we just put it out there, a place, a date, a time, and people sign up. So what you do is you reach out to support at lipedema-simplified.org. I'm going to grab that so you can see it. I've got it posted in the comments. Support at lipedema-simplified.org. You send us a letter through this email and say, I want to be part of Lipedema Awareness Month. I want to be part of the heart to heart, face to face circles that we're going to be doing. How do I do it? You might want to be I need to know where one is by me because I'm not going to hold one. Or you can say, I want to host one, because it's so easy. It's easy, but some people don't like to do that, but it's really easy. You find a place. You say, oh, look, this tea room or this, coffee shop or this park has this space that I can just go ahead and reserve a table in there for 10, or I can reserve the pavilion, we're
Mhm.
going to meet outside if the weather
Mhm.
is okay for that. And then that's how it starts. Then you think about it, you tell us your ideas. We'll make sure that you have a special link in our it'll be on our calendar on a sheet where people
Yes.
can sign up for you.
So we last year we had a web page that listed
Yes.
where all they were, what date, time, and location around the world, where these were being held, and so people can get the information from that website, or other ways of getting it. But the main thing is We need to know who wants to come and who would like to host it. And if that fits you of either one of those categories, then email us at support@lipedema-simplified.org.
And you don't have to have a time, place, and date before you email us.
You're right.
Just let
Right.
us know what you're interested in.
Yes.
Either attending or hosting.
Yes. Yes.
So there's
We
going to
look
be one
forward to hearing from you. You
Yeah.
have for this month. I mean, definitely you're participating in the CSIG that's happening of all of May, but you're also thinking about what you're going to do in June. So participate, be with us. We want to be with you.
Yeah, it's going to be oh, Christine just decided whoop. She's all excited now. So we'll look forward to all of you, most of you, and more of you hosting a heart-to-heart and
Yeah.
face-to-face.
So we
So
want to have it. I want to have at least double of what we had last year. Let's shoot for that.
yeah, let's shoot for 36. Oh my gosh,
Right.
it's a lot. But that'll be wonderful.
Around the world.
Yeah.
And I know that some of the people that are watching right now are people that hosted some in their community. So we look forward to having that happen again. But this has been wonderful hanging out with everybody again in our usual Friday get together. Those of you that are on the south of the equator, it's not a Friday afternoon. It's a different day entirely. But we're so glad that we're here with you today. Thanks for being here, Gail. Always so fun to hang out with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Leslyn. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.